Whenever I come out here and do videos, I always say that my father didn't tell me what to think. He taught me how to think, and I credit him for that. And I've molded a lot of my beliefs and just the way I operate around that is that nobody told me what to think. Here was just throw me out into the world with what we have taught you and let's see what happens. My mother, on the other hand, was a little different. Uh, I can count the number of lessons my mother taught me on my hand. Just three. Three very important lessons that I have done my best to stick with over the years because it's from my mom and it's advice. And it's funny how your parents can give you advice and you don't hear them. But then when you find yourself in those situations, it's like, that's what you were talking about. So here are three things that my mother taught me that to this day I still hold on to. One is don't start what you can't finish. And I apply that a lot to my life. Like I set out on this quest to move from Michigan to California and earn the heart of the woman I love. And I knew it was going to be an uphill battle in a car full of fat chicks with no brakes. But I came out here and I did it and I saw it through and it worked. And to this day, my wife and I are still together and still happy. So let's check that off the list. I started it, I finished it. The next one was never raise your hand to a woman out of anger. And I've done my best. Out of 42 years, I've done my best to adhere to that. There have been times. there, there have been times. I recall the first one that comes to mind is I pushed Janelle through a wooden door once. Like the door was old, and she just kind of went through. You know how old school doors are. There's a door, and then on the door there's this like pattern of a square on the inside. I pushed her, and she went through that. I don't even remember what we were arguing about, but I remember that being very significant. And also, in 2013, Asia and I got into it, and she'll freely admit to you that she deserved it. She egged it on purpose. Her goal was to get me to hit her, and I slapped her. And I immediately felt guilty about it because I don't put my hands on women. And that bothered me. But I've done my best to uphold that. Out of 42 years, I've only done it twice. I feel like that's a win. That's once every 21 years. Like, that's okay. And the last one is a squeaky wheel gets oil. And I used to watch my mother complain about the damnedest things. Actually, I'll take you back to the story. This is not even where I was going with this when I sat down to tell you about it. But I remember being a kid, and there was a Thundercats toy that I wanted. In fact, it was a Mumra. It was a Mumra that had light up eyes. If you pushed a button on his belt or something like that. Let's just say it was his belt. And I don't remember how much it costs, but next to it was the exact same Mumra that came with a free battery, but the price of the toy went up by like $2. And my mother had a field day with them. I will never forget this. How you gonna say it's free if it's more than the one that don't come with the battery? You got to give it to me for this price, or it's not free. And squeaky wheel gets oil. I remember getting that Mumra toy. I absolutely remember getting it. I'll bring up the squeaky wheel because yesterday, as I was leaving last night, I told you that I was scheduled to be North Gold today at work, which I didn't want to do. I've never done North Gold. I'm not familiar with the stations. I don't know the protocols. I don't know like all the little nooks and crannies of behind the stations or whatnot. So I was a little concerned about doing that.
For Metro, can you respond to Second Avenue, right behind the instrument house? There's a homeless individual
Okay.
right behind it.
That don't have nothing to do with me. So I had no idea how to do it. So I called up my boss and I said, "Hey, boss, can we switch?" And he was like, oh yeah, absolutely, don't worry about it, it's no big deal. So we switched. But in my mind, the guy who I was switching with, I knew he was gonna have an issue with it. So I left home early so that I could get down here early and get the truck early so that I could sign in under Folsom Gold, which is the one I'm used to, and just jet out to my station before it was too late. And in my mind, it said, well, my boss has already cleared it, so I'm good. I'm already here, so it's good. So I'm home free, right? Nope. Nope. Halfway to my station, my boss called me and he was like, hey, the guy I tried to switch with you, he's refusing to do the switch. Because it's scheduled, I can't make him do it. I'm going to need you to turn around and go back. Now, I could have whined and bitched and moaned and complained, but I live by a very simple set of rules for this job. I go where you send me. If I can in any way say, hey, I would prefer to be here, I will. And I've done that. I've told them I prefer to be at Mather, they gave me Mather. I told them I prefer to be in a truck, they gave me a truck. So if I tell them a preferred location that I would like to have for the truck, then I can be vocal and say that. But there were times when I was at Alkali Flats. There were times where I was at a bullshit station that I'd rather not be at. But I went where you sent me. So I had to turn around and give my truck back. I mean, with a heavy heart, I gave my truck back. I was so disappointed in that. I was. So now here I am. I'll turn it around. This is so tacky. I hate when people do this in videos, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's like I can't see what you see. Let's just be very clear. This is Royal Oak Station. As you can see, I'm sitting behind a gate at a gas station where it's just literally right next door to the station. There's no place for me to park my truck onto the station, so I've just decided to sit here. So I will sit here at my station and I will do the job that I have come to do. And it's funny because I complain, but I still hide behind. I don't want to say hide behind because it's not hiding. I live by go where you send me, but also a squeaky wheel gets oil. So I can't be mad that the guy who also didn't want North Gold went to the boss and was like, oh, I want to do North Gold. Can we switch? Harris is supposed to be doing North Gold today. So, hey, he did some squeaking. The boss gave him what he wanted. Same thing I did. So if I can't be mad that he switched it for me because I squeaked and I got what I wanted, I can't be mad that the other guy did some squeaking and got what he wanted. I mean, that's the law of the land. I'm fine with it. So here I am at Royal Oaks, and it was funny because the gas station right behind me, I just went to go get a fountain drink, which is nice, and I got a Twix, so this will probably last me for most of the day. And my boss pulled up, and he was in there going to get some chew, like that tobacco chew. It's disgusting to me, but whatever. So he's in there, and I was like, hey man, if y'all call me for some dumb shit, go down the secret tunnel, down this one place and do this, I'm not gonna know what the fuck you're talking about. So don't call me for that kind of shit. You better hope that if something goes down in my area, you are in my area, because I don't know where that is. He was like, don't worry man, we have to call you. I'll give you a call. I'll tell you exactly where to go. It's like, shit, man. You fucking better. Or otherwise, I'll just be lost. I'll be completely lost. Other than that, those are the three things that I do my best to live by. As for my father, I don't have three things that my father taught me because honestly, he taught me pretty much everything else, or at least put me on the path for learning for myself to come up with my own mode of operation. So I can't credit him with a list of things that he did. Before I get out of here, as you can see, the facial hair is coming back. As soon as I shaved it, I regretted that I did. It's like, as a man, you only get so many styling options for facial hair. So it's either a mustache and a goatee, or just a goatee, or just a mustache, which to me makes me look like a pedophile. I don't want to do that. It's the beard with the mustache, or it's the beard with no mustache, or it's the beard and it stops here and there's nothing with a mustache, and then this goes up, but that's a little redneckish to me, so I don't want to do that. So there are only a few things that I can do. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to grow this back out and let this come back down. I'll probably keep all of this shaved. I want to dye this. I'd like to have this all be black except for one little white strip right here, which I can have my wife take care of for me. So that's going to be my plan, and that'll probably be where I keep it for the foreseeable future. I can't, I just don't have very many options, and my face is the kind of face that needs some sort of facial hair. Hey, fun fact, and I didn't mean for this video to go so long. If you remember, almost a year ago, when I first even applied for the job, this mole here was a problem for me. So I went out and I got some mole remover, and I put it all around here, and it dried it off, which was fine. But what happens is it burns some skin all up in this area. So I had what looked like pepperoni. Yeah, it was pepperoni like Freddy Krueger face. It looked really bad for a couple of days. Then I peeled it off, the color came back, and it was fine. But then the mole came back. So facial hair does something to distract from the mole for me. Also, if we're talking, I've had a mole that was on my waistline, specifically on my waistline. So when I would pull up my boxers, the boxer, like the elastic, would rub up against it and it hurt. It would always bother me. So about 2 weeks ago, I went searching for the damn thing. It used to be that I would cut it off. Is that somebody sleeping at my station? I can't have people sleeping at my station. So it was there, so I decided that I would snip it off with fingernail clippers, and Asian hates when I do that. But hey, something needed to be done. But I went to go look for it a couple of weeks ago, because not even to snip it off, just to see where it was, because I realized it hadn't, you look up, 3 days have gone by, and I just remembered that I hadn't been irritated there, and it's just gone. It's like the weirdest thing. So is that a thing? Will it just leave? This one just leave? Look, I've babbled long enough. I gotta pretend to be wanting to do my job. I really feel like I should go out there and see if that person is sleeping. But 2 TAs just went over to the gas station, so I'm assuming they'll come back in enough time to get on the next train, and I'll let them deal with it. Since y'all want to